In the shadows of hidden stories, there are secrets that humanity only dares to whisper in the dark corners. One of them is the story of Area 52, a mysterious military base deep in the Nevada desert, where rumors of aliens and technology beyond human imagination have become legend. Unlike its famous sibling, Area 51, Area 52 is a name that is rarely mentioned, but carries deeper, darker mysteries. The U.S. government has always denied its existence, but leaked documents, eyewitness accounts, and indelible traces in the desert have made people unable to stop asking, what is really going on there? This story is not only a journey to discover the truth, but also a warning about what humanity may face when it reaches the limits of the universe. In 1978, an amateur astronomer named Jonathan Blake, living in a small town near the Nevada desert, accidentally recorded a strange radio signal through his homemade telescope. The signal was unlike anything he had ever heard. A series of tones repeating with uncanny precision, as if emitted by an intelligent source. Jonathan called it the desert signal. He sent his report to a local scientific organization, hoping to attract the attention of researchers. But just days later, he received a visit from men in black suits claiming to be employees of an unknown government agency. They confiscated his equipment, wiped the data, and warned him not to reveal any information. But Jonathan, a man determined to discover, secretly saved a recording of the signal on an old magnetic tape. It was this tape that became the key to unlocking a story beyond anyone's imagination. Area 52, according to rumors, was more than just a regular military base. It was said to house the remains of an alien spacecraft, discovered after a mysterious crash in 1963. Unlike the famous Roswell incident, this event was so well hidden that even the most intrepid investigative journalists could not find any clues. The few witnesses who worked at the base, from engineers to security personnel, all recounted similar stories. Underground corridors hundreds of meters deep, heavily guarded laboratories, and strange noises heard at night, as if something was trying to communicate. Some even claimed to have seen non-human figures moving in the darkness of the tunnels. The story of Area 52 goes beyond mere hearsay. Leaked documents, though rare, have revealed that the U.S. government established a secret program codenamed Project Blackface to study technology from the supposedly crashed spacecraft. These technologies, according to the documents, include indestructible materials, fuel-free power systems, and a device capable of manipulating space and time. But even more terrifying are reports of scientists attempting to contact the source of the signal Jonathan recorded, and the results of those contacts were never made public. Some believe the government succeeded in establishing a channel of communication with an alien civilization, but at what cost? These questions haunted Jonathan Blake, who devoted his life to searching for the truth, despite threats from unseen forces. His story is not just that of an individual, but also a symbol of the struggle between human curiosity and the veil of secrecy created by the government. Does Area 52 really hold evidence of alien existence? Or is it all just a fictional story created to distract the public? This journey to discover the truth will take us through dark paths, where the light of truth is always obscured by the darkness of power. Jonathan Blake was not a famous scientist or a figure of influence. He was just an ordinary man, working at an electronics repair shop in the town of Dusty Springs, Nevada. But his passion for astronomy led him to spend hours each night observing the sky through a homemade telescope. The desert signal he recorded in 1978 was more than just a random event. It changed his life. The signal, which repeated every 37 seconds, had a complex structure, as if it contained a coded message. Jonathan spent months analyzing the signal using his rudimentary equipment, and he discovered that it seemed to point to a specific point in the constellation Cygnus, about 15 light-years away from Earth. After the visit from the men in black suits, Jonathan became more cautious. He began contacting a small group of other amateur scientists who had also recorded similar signals but were reluctant to go public. One of them was Dr. Margaret Voss, a retired physicist who had worked for a military laboratory in New Mexico. Margaret confided to Jonathan that she had heard of a secret project called Blackface in the 1960s, when she worked for the government. According to her, the project not only studied astronomical phenomena, but also focused on decoding signals that were believed to come from an intelligent extraterrestrial source. Margaret and Jonathan began to collaborate, using documents she had kept from her time at the laboratory. They discovered that Area 52, located about 50 miles northwest of Area 51, was the center of Project Blackface. The base was built underground, with a complex system of tunnels and strict security measures. A former security guard, who asked to remain anonymous, sent Margaret a sketch of the base, describing an area called the core room. The core room, according to the description, contained a giant cylindrical object, believed to be part of an alien spacecraft. The object emitted a strange energy field, causing nearby electronic devices to behave abnormally. Meanwhile, Jonathan began receiving anonymous calls at night. The voice on the other end of the line was always distorted, warning him to stop investigating or he would be in danger. But instead of being scared, Jonathan became more determined. He contacted an investigative journalist named Clara Nguyen, who had written about military secrets. Clara agrees to help Jonathan, and they begin gathering information from unofficial sources, including people who once worked at Area 52. One of them, an engineer named Paul Carter, reveals that he was involved in an experiment to activate a device found on the spacecraft. The experiment, according to Paul, caused a strange phenomenon. The space in the laboratory seemed to warp, and some scientists reported seeing images of an alien planet, with architectural structures unlike anything on Earth. But what really creeps Jonathan and Clara out is the story of the whispers. Some employees at Area 52 say they hear what sound like whispers in their heads when working near the cylindrical object. These voices don't use human language, but seem to convey a sense of urgency, as if trying to warn of an impending danger. A scientist who left the project due to mental health issues claims to have had a vision of the destruction of Earth, with giant figures emerging from the sky. Jonathan and Clara begin to suspect that the government is not only hiding the existence of alien technology, but is also trying to exploit it without understanding the consequences. They discover that the signal Jonathan picked up appears to be part of an interplanetary communication system designed to warn other civilizations of an unknown threat. But in 1985, the signal suddenly stopped, coinciding with a mysterious explosion recorded in the Nevada desert. The government claims it was a weapons test, but Jonathan believes it was the result of a failed experiment at Area 52. The story of Area 52 was never fully revealed to the public. Jonathan Blake, after years of investigation, mysteriously disappeared in 1995. Some say he was kidnapped by people who wanted to protect the base's secrets. Others believe he found the final piece of the puzzle and decided to go into hiding to avoid danger. His tape containing the desert signal was stolen in a burglary at Clara Nguyen's home, and no one knows where it went. Margaret Voss and Clara Nguyen continued their work, but they also faced unseen threats. Margaret died in 2001 in a car accident that was considered suspicious, while Clara turned to writing novels to tell the story in fictional form, hoping to convey the truth without censorship. Her book, Darkness in the Desert, became a bestseller, but many dismissed it as mere science fiction. Area 52 remains an unsolved mystery. Leaked documents have slowly made their way onto the internet, but they have always been dismissed as forgeries. Those who worked at the base or claimed to know about it have remained silent, either out of fear or because they have been bribed. However, on clear nights in Nevada, some amateur astronomers still report strange radio signals, though weaker than Jonathan's desert signal. Some believe it is the last attempt of an alien civilization to contact us, or perhaps a warning that humanity has ignored. The story of Area 52 is about more than just aliens or cutting-edge technology. It is a story about human curiosity, about the desire to touch the mysteries of the universe, and about the price of pursuing truth in a world full of secrets. Is humanity ready to face what awaits us, or will we continue to be trapped in our own darkness? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere beneath the sands of the Nevada desert, in the underground corridors of Area 52, where truth and myth merge into one.